But I'm looking around the room, and you guys, I'm just seeing so many changes and so many, you ladies, amazing. You're 115 pounds now?
Yep.
You?
100.
Look at that.
130.
Look at that. And I can see the difference. I mean, the thing that's actually, especially like you folks that are a little newer out and stuff, I like your coif too.
Okay.
Your faces are bright. Your faces are really bright. You look like you feel good. And you're getting done what has to get done. We have a new patient. He's having, when's your surgery again? A week from Tuesday. Anybody have any advice for him or anything that you guys would like to share? And basically, I think what they're telling you is that the first 2 days, there's sometimes some people have buyer's remorse. He tasted the protein that we're using now, because I think some of you had the protein in the cardboard box, you know, the milky based flavored one. We were using stuff that came, you guys had the stuff in the box? Optisource, yes. It's kind of thick, milky, sweet. They had 2 flavors, strawberry and caramel. And the caramel was very sweet. And now what we're using a protein concentrate. We pour out an ounce of water and put an ounce of the protein in. It's definitely not enough of the protein that we need to get, but to get you started on protein, very similar to the Nectar Fuzzy Navel. Close enough to say? So what else is going on with anybody? Any struggles, any issues? You do need something to take care of the stress, but you need to figure out something to, yeah, you've got the awareness in your forefront of your mind, but what else do you do? Do you need to, are you planning your meals? Do you guys go out to eat a lot? You know what? I was talking to someone, and one of the things, this conversation we had at lunch, was before you can do anything else, you have to take care of you. And the thing is, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with this or not, you have to take care of you, but you have to allow yourself to take care of you. It's a budget, but let me tell you something. I try to share with a lot of people, because you know what? There's 2 of us at our house that are doing it, and there's 2 at your house that are doing it, and there's 2 at a lot of houses that are doing it. I mean, between my husband and I, just calcium alone, we're chewing up 5 calcium a day. You know, I'm 3 calcium a day, he's 2 calcium a day. We're going through 4 multivitamins a day. So I've shopped, I'm not gonna lie, I shop, and what I have found that works best for us, and I'm not endorsing one product over another or anything like that, it's just what I have found works for us. I've gone online to Amazon, and I buy my multivitamins off of Amazon. I get, it's a pineapple flavored one that I was buying at the vitamin shop, but I can get it cheaper, less expensive, whatever you want to call it, at Amazon. And it's a Nature's Plus, it's a pineapple multivitamin. It has, oh Lord, I can't remember the size, it's got a lot in it.
Oh, that's like my calcium.
And then I get the calcium from Bariatric Advantage, I get the calcium lozenges, because there's 270 to a bottle, a jar, whatever you want to call it. So we get 2 of those. I mean, granted, it costs us like over $80 for the calcium, but that's for almost 4 months. That's for almost 4 months. So, I mean, it takes us far, you know. And so that might be, because if you break it down like that, I can't remember, you're sleeve or bypass?
Bypass.
So you're a bypass, so you're 3 a day. So if you look at that 270, 3 a day times 30, so that's 90 times 3 is 270. So break that down into months, and you're probably paying about $11, $12 a month for your calcium.
That's true.
And so, you know what, you're switching one thing for the other. In terms of protein, I always tell people, if buying protein is an issue for you, you can go to Costco. They sell, it's called 100% whey. I don't know if anybody's used it. It comes in a bag. There's 77 servings to the bag. They have chocolate and vanilla. You know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that protein, you know. I mean, 77 servings, it's 27 grams of protein, it's 130 calories. You know, it's all doable.
Okay.
So we can sit and we can look at, I mean, like I said, I've got, it comes up in my phone on my Amazon when I pull it up. You recently bought this. You recently bought this.
Yeah.
So you can see, so when I buy my multivitamins, I buy 2 at a time. My calcium comes in 2 jugs, you know, of 270. So, and then that multivitamin does have iron in it. Okay, guess what? Guess what? Like if you got the one I was talking about, make him a protein smoothie. And then, you know what? He's getting something of some quality. You know, I mean, okay, I'm going to put you on the spot because I've seen you at Coffee Bean a lot. Okay, so, but if you think about it, that adds up. That adds up. So, I mean, in terms of the issue that you're having, if you were to sit down and price it out, you would be on spot, even if you treated yourself once a month, you know? So, you know, I mean, I would like to actually sit with you and go over it further because I think we can make inroads with that, and you can see, because like that bag of 77 servings is $39.99. And there's so many things you can do with your protein. You know, once you start adding, you know, once you start adding fruit to it and stuff, that changes the whole, can change the whole thing, because you have to account for that in terms of calories. You know, it's just, you know, the fruit has calories and you have to count it. But the other thing you really need to do, as a matter of fact, Denise and I were talking the other day, food journals. You need to journal your food. At this point, if you're struggling, you really need to figure out something. You know, but now that you say you're going on vacation, and you're now 366 days out from surgery,
Yeah.
what is your plan for vacation? Because, you know, sometimes we get off track with vacation. Yeah, that's what I was just going to recommend, is if you're going to do a protein bar, which I look at protein bars, and it's my opinion, but I look at protein bars as a candy bar. You're going to be active, probably, you guys will probably be snorkeling and all that stuff, you know, so you'll be definitely active. So, but the other thing that you didn't discuss is what kind of activity do you get? You absolutely have to throw some activity in there at least 45 minutes to an hour a day. At least give yourself at least 5 days a week. And you make those, and I don't know if anybody else can agree with me, you make those little changes, those little changes, it's gonna change. It's gonna make a difference. Because you know what? And I have a friend who says, you know what? You can't out-exercise. We had a conversation about diet and exercise and all that. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. And the same thing, you can't, you know, out-eat no exercise. You've got to basically stoke up the furnace and turn the furnace on to, you know, start burning. And then, you know, the other issue thing that happens, and I hear this from a lot of people in general, but I hear it from a lot of patients too. Well, I just don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. You have to eat. You have to eat. Like I tell people, you have to put gas in the car to make the engine go. You know, just from that analogy. You just can't run on empty, you know. And the one thing I think that you need to do is you definitely need to meal plan, you know. And if your husband gets home late, that's fine. But have a meal that's a healthy meal that you can have. You know, that's really it. It's, you're planning for your family, but with yourself in mind. So,
But yes, it's made with me in mind.
right.
That would be true, yeah.
You have
It's made with me in
you
mind.
have to make your meals with what your needs are, because you know what? He's going to adapt, or whomever's in the house is going to adapt to what you're doing. You know, they may decide that they want macaroni and cheese. Well, if they want macaroni and cheese, maybe they should make it. You know, I mean, I know that's hard to tell him that, but the bottom line is that You know what? Maybe on those days that he's home late from work, that's the day you're gonna do some kind of salad, you know, a chicken spinach salad or something like that.
He likes it stuff.
And the thing is that we frequently, and I'm not bagging on you, okay? But we frequently make excuses as to why something's not happening. At the end of the day, it's on us. No one, absolutely no one, but you. So, food journal, meal plan. I have a picture in my refrigerator of 2 shelves in my fridge. One is my shelf and one is his shelf. His meals are on this shelf, my meals are on this shelf. I mean, I've even gone as far as what I'm having for breakfast, and I'll take, you know, like the painter's tape, and I'll put it on my container, B. And then I'll put lunch, boot camp day. You know, so because on boot camp day, I eat a little bit different than I eat on regular days. I lose a half an ounce on regular days. I gain a half an ounce on boot camp day, just because I'm like burning so hot that I need a little bit more to kind of bring me down a little bit, you know. So that's that's the way I meal plan, and then his is just lunch. His is just meal planned as lunch. So, but meal planning is truly your key. I believe, I could be wrong, you know, I'm only one person, but I think meal planning really is key. And if you talk to anybody that I work out with, they all meal plan, and they're all very fit, and they're eating clean. They're eating clean. So, anything else for my quiet people all back there? There you all. That's, you know what, my schedule on the weekend is it's a lot more difficult, I think, for me to eat well on the weekends versus Monday through Friday. I do struggle a little bit more with trying to make sure I keep that focus on the weekend, even though I've had my butt kicked on Saturday morning back and forth. But I still struggle with, you know, with what I'm going to eat, because I know on Monday through Friday that I'm going over to that cafeteria and I'm going to have my eggs, my 1 egg and my 2 egg whites with spinach, peppers, and onions, and a little bit of oatmeal or cream of wheat. I know that's what I'm going to do Monday through Friday. And I know that my meals are ready to just pull for, you know, for lunch. But for me, it's all about planning. And the weekend, sometimes that lunch and dinner meal sometimes just really get away from me, and I really have to try to reel it in. So, and what I do find is that I do go and look in the big TV that keeps everything cold, you know, and I do go in and I look going, well, what can I have? And you know what? And I am by far perfect. I am by far perfect. I struggle just like every single one of you guys. You know, when my kids were here this weekend, we don't normally have cheese in our house. We had cheese and we had crackers and we had butter and there was bread and there were bagels. As soon as the kids left, I threw it all away. It was good food, but I threw it away. Couldn't have it there. And you know why? You know why I couldn't have the crackers there? Because they're like chips. They're crunchy and salty like chips. And anyone who knows, I say chips are crack.
Yeah, crap.
It's my crack. So I had to throw it away. My husband says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm throwing away the junk." He goes, "We don't have junk." I said, "It's junk." He goes, "Well, it has seeds in it." I said, "It's still junk. It's still junk." So, you know, I mean, at some point in time, you have to take control of that and say, you know, I just can't bring it in. Chips are the top. There was someone walking by in the hospital today, and I thought, gosh, I wonder if they would ask if I would be offended if I asked if I could have a chip. You know, it was a visitor. I'm sure they really would have been offended.
Well, you know what, at the same time, though, if you were to ask somebody, can I have a couple of those chips? My guess is you're eating them out of enjoyment and you wanted to have a couple of chips.
But I couldn't
You weren't
stop.
Stressed. Well, if they weren't yours and they walked away. you
I'd go
might be
buy
able
some.
to.
I'd go take my money out of my pocket and buy it.
I don't know, let's put a camera on you and see if you would. Something
Oh, I
tells me
know.
if you're worth it, you might have that couple and then go back to work.
Oh, no. That's all it is. It takes one. So the point being is, I think it's important, one of the other things, I think it's important to know what, that, how many people did, went to Weight Watchers? How many people could be, own the company? So, but remember they talked at Weight Watchers about your red light food? Do y'all know what your red light food is? What's your red light food? The point being is that we know, so like you ice cream folks, it's probably sweets of some kind, Mine was salty, is really salty, crunchy, And I always think about, and I don't know, you're going on vacation and you're being really good, you're planning to be really good. Road trips. Anybody get in the car and do a road trip? What happens on a road trip? What do you do on a road trip? Pack up the car with the junk, with the junk, I mean, so let me put it to you this way, you guys this way. Think about this, summer's coming, you might get in the car and say, hey, let's go for a long drive, let's do this, let's do that. What would you do now that's different? What would you load up on?
We went to San Diego a couple weeks ago, and do you know where we pulled in and go? We went to Chick-fil-A and got the grilled chicken pieces, and we ate those on the way down. That's what we did.
It was good.
Yeah, totally good.
And it's, and salad, and and we could talk about salad bars, they're not safe. Salad bars are probably some of the most unhealthy choices you could make. Because if you look at a salad bar, and I've not completely sat and, figured out, okay, they give you that ladle of dressing, and you're gonna put 3 or 4 ladles of dressing, and all the fixings that go on the salad, you've got, your crunchy lettuce, and you've got maybe sometimes like here, sometimes they'll put spinach on it, on the salad bar, but they don't put, I use field greens for my salad, so they just have crunchy lettuce here probably because it's less expensive. But then you look at it, they have chicken that's just swimming in mayonnaise. They have tuna that's swimming in mayonnaise. They have, and I'm looking for a source of protein is what I'm looking for those days that you get to work and it's like something is just missing. And you realize, oh my gosh, I left my lunch on the counter, and there's no one home to bring it to you. I have actually done it twice, and one time I went home. I went home to get my lunch. It's like leaving your cell phone, I went home to get my lunch. But that one day, it's like they had nothing. I'm thinking, what can I have? I mean, it was a real struggle that day. It's like, what do I eat? What do I eat? Because I'm so regimented in planning my meals, I'm like, because I can't weigh it, I can't measure it, if they're doing a pasta bar, they're just gonna give me a bunch of pasta, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's white gummy pasta, it's not like whole wheat pasta, or it's not brown rice pasta. I've gotten very specific, and I don't know about any of you, but I've gotten very specific about certain things that I eat. Like Mary mentioned, she has chicken and she has brown rice and vegetables and oatmeal. So, but, they're feeding masses when you go to the hospital cafeteria or something like that, and they're not necessarily going to cater to my specific dietary needs or wants, So, it's like, and it's a little stressful thinking, gosh, if I could just go home and have my lunch, they just pile the pasta on when I just do like half a cup of rice, or I'll do like half a cup of pasta, it's like, and I do meat sauce, and I do a lot of meat sauce and won't have, the sausage or anything like that. Or if I do the salad bar, I stress over it. Okay, I can go to the grill and maybe they'll grill me a chicken breast. It's those things. But when you don't get to plan, and I always go back to that. Planning is so darn important. Do you guys plan? I think once you get away from it, it's just like falling off track.
Maybe you could say, because I know that the one time when we did the group where you had the papers at,
Right.
you plan the movie. I don't plan like that,
Uh-huh.
but I think when I go like to the store at the beginning of the week or something.
You've got it in your
I
mind.
have like an overall, so I know it's there, so maybe that day I'll know, oh, I've got this or this or this, I can put those things together.
Mhm.
So I don't plan like.
Mine is very.
I know what I'm eating for lunch on Thursday, I don't know that,
Mhm.
but I have an idea, I know it's now available,
Mhm.
and it doesn't mean that I still won't stand in front of the refrigerator, wait for something magical to pop out on Thursday.
Mhm. Like Betty Crocker with a whole cooked
I know
meal.
exactly what's in there, and I'm like, I know it's there, but I still wait for that, but, well, so I don't plan my meal and know exactly like that, but I have an idea because I know it's there. But I don't plan like every meal every day.
Have it like.
No, there's one thing, and I've tried before, I don't know if anybody here has tried it, soy sauce. Soy sauce can be really salty. What I have discovered, and someone told me, has anybody ever tried liquid aminos?
Bragg's.
Bragg's liquid aminos. It's like, almost like, it's like a soy sauce. It's made from soy, but it's not bad. I made teriyaki out of it. And what I did is I put my liquid aminos, and I put some water, and then
Can you spell it, teacher?
yes,
Liquid what?
aminos, aminos. Bragg's,
Amino acid, but.
it's amino acids.
Aminos.
Bragg's.
And you buy it like where the salad
Where did,
dressings are?
no, where did I buy it?
Buy a whole liter.
I bought mine at,
Really?
I bought mine at Vitamin Shop.
Okay.
Okay, so like special.
And it's in a bottle about, like a vinegar-sized bottle. They also have Bragg's apple cider vinegar. But I made teriyaki sauce with some of the liquid aminos, a little bit of water, and then I mixed some stevia with it. And then I just marinated some chicken in that. And then I let it just sit, and then I grilled it. So you're getting the flavor, but you're not getting all that killer, sweetness from the teriyaki. You're not getting all that salt. You're not getting all of that stuff. You're not getting gluten. A lot of people struggle with gluten issues. So that's just a little thing. And at first I was kind of like, wow, it's not as sweet as teriyaki, but it was tasty. It was tasty. And I don't use it that often because I still think it's somewhat salty. And I'm not really using salt. So it gives another bit of a flavor. Because, sometimes the same thing gets really old. Gets really, really old.
It's with srirachas.
Oh, gosh. Lose the lettuce.
Yeah, I can eat that.
Lose the lettuce. Try losing the lettuce. Try that taco thing again. My to-go taco when I was about 9-10 weeks out, I'd put like a spoonful of refried beans on the plate. I wouldn't use like shredded chicken. I'd use like the taco filling that they were using. Put a little bit on that. I'd put a little dab of low-fat or fat-free sour cream and just like a soup of some shredded cheese on top. To me, that was heaven on a plate. So try it with something other than the shredded chicken. Ground turkey, ground chicken. And it sounds like you're frustrated over food because it just doesn't feel like it sits. And
Sounds good.
sounds good.
My mind beats.
And I always tell people my eyes are bigger than my stomach,
Yeah.
But try just putting a little bit of bean on the plate, some refried beans just on the plate. Put a little bit of your taco meat on top of it, and a little bit of cheese, and maybe a tiny.
Make this like, when you say a little bit, when you're all done, have that big. See?
That big.
That's it, that's the goal.
That's it. Miniature donut,
Yeah.
if that, and piled about the same height as a miniature donut is tall. Let me tell you, that was heaven on a plate. Heaven on a plate. Here's another for you. So what about, maybe you make spaghetti for your family for dinner one night. Okay, you can't have the pasta. You can try it, but use a sauce that's just not so real spicy, and you can get them at Trader Joe's. You can get the Italian turkey meatballs, put it in there, let it simmer in that sauce. Take that meatball out, put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on that. And the meatballs are about, again, about that size. Oh, actually, they're smaller. They're about that big. And it's okay. So look at that.
Yeah.
There's about 6 or 7 of us in here whose nose runs. Dr. Yadegar knows about it, and he and I have been wanting to collect some data on it. That last bite will bite, that last can bite you in the butt and make you miserable for hours. My surgery was, they did not allow us to have any kind of red meat for a year. So let me tell you, November 14th, 2005 came, and so I had steak. Or no, I had a ground beef patty. It was the most disgusting thing because I could taste, what I could taste was the iron